appreciate the time, effort, and passion that go into every business venture. To commence today's ceremony, let us seek the blessings of Almighty. I now invite the key teacher from the third semester CSE to offer a prayer song to grace this occasion.
गजननिगे नमो नमो गजननिगे नमो नमो जगपालके नमो नमो जगपालके नमो नमो गजननिगे नमो नमो शनिवारण पार्वती नंदन मूषिका वाहन शनिवारण पार्वती नंदन शेषचरण भजक श्रेष्ठ व्यास निधि भरे
Lovely motivation song. Taking this event forward, I would like to welcome all the individuals for the arts. I wanted to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Bharu Shigal, Founder Director, Pickle Networks, Party Committee of Bangalore for this event. I request Dr. Bharu Singh, Associate Professor, Department of History, to welcome us by handing over the host. Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. M.S. Ganesha Prasad sir, for his presence. May I now request Dr. Ramesh, Associate Professor of Department of History, to welcome the organizing board. Thank you, sir. I would like to welcome our research dean, Dr. Shantakumar B. Patel sir, for his presence. May I now request Dr. Ajay B. Associate Professor, Department of CSE, to welcome sir by handing over the host. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to welcome our beloved HOD, Dr. Shashi Kumar DR, HOD of CSE, to this gift. I request Dr. Vinod Desai, Associate Professor, Department of CSE, to welcome sir by handing over the host. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to welcome our IIC convener, Dr. Patikra GS, for your presence. May I now request Professor Ramanjinova, Assistant Professor, Department of PhD, welcome ma'am by that word. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to welcome all the individuals from various departments, staff members, non-teaching staff, and all the students of SPIT to this event. A ray of light is a ray of hope. Let us now symbolic darkness and embrace the power of heaven again. I humbly invite all the dignitaries to come forward. With me to now make these events.
Good morning, all. Myself, Dr. Varuni, Associate Department of Sales. I would like to introduce our guest. Arthur Peter is an entrepreneur and tech innovator, known for his expertise in computer science and also entrepreneurship. With his distinguished academic background, he secured gold medal in tech from prestigious Institute of Information Technology and also Triple Bangalore. Barbaros journey into tech industry began with university at IBM Research Lab, where he improved his skill and gained valuable experience over 3 years. Driven by the passion for innovation and keen understanding of market needs, Bhargav ventured into entrepreneurship and created Pickle Network. As the founder and CEO, he currently leads the charge in revolutionizing the professional photography industry with the innovative online marketplace and CRM tools tailored specifically for photographers. And also, recently, people have secured significant funding, further solidifying his position as a pioneer in the tech startup landscape. Marvel is also a photographer with a deep expertise in water sports photography. With these words, I would like to welcome you again. Thank you.
May I now request our respected principal to recognize the mission of family. Let us begin.
Good morning, everyone. Technically, I'm the chief guest today's program. Being today's time, my colleague, faculty members, officials, and departments of engineering. My dear students, the aim of every engineer is to better. So you have your own pace, you have your own thoughts. You have got to be fulfilled. The final meaning of it is no investment, no binding, no breaking, no yours. If you, yeah, from the student's point of view, working for some organization, working for some boss, everything is fine. Final satisfaction is what we get only with no investment. So that is the basic motto. If everybody can provide awareness, so then there will not be job. So that time, the basic function has come up with some program. The engineers really think of their experts, what are their needs, so that they can start their own startups. So from the if you have an idea, here ready to spend some of the 14,000 plus establishment of your startup. How much everything you should do. Last year, AC panel, Swami, Pavitra, and others helped the process of the life. Which is expecting more out of that. So, what is better? I'm going to see some so there's going to be education is being there. So you can also think, you can also think, especially for startup. Before you that time, the series of entrepreneurship between the so context our achievement. We need to share is sort of success of the problems whatever we face. I just wanted the people to know how actually is how comfortable right now. So this is actually very hard. That is not only but it satisfying like I want to people come to their own staff. So, the initiator person, so we have to understand these problems. We can let us whatever the problems which he is because everybody can do all of them. You should learn. That mistake we should not do. So let us understand what mistakes we should not understand. Okay. So your course is not illegal. Right? So with that thing and so we can learn. But beneficial supposed to because you supposed to lead to such
Library books is not humanity. First and foremost, this is Mr. Mark Shield, thank you so for your listening presence. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our And Dr. Shantakumar participated for the motivation. Thanks to Dr. dedication. Thanks to everyone. Without further delay, I invite our chief guest, Mr.
Your formal lecture, formal classes, everything that's all. I will try and keep it as interactive as possible. You want answers? we started off with, right? So when we started, so right now, when I talk about what is all there, all the product we have on mobile app as well, which customers are using. We have close to 400 photographers on a live basis for using our mobile. When we started off, it was not really like this. Right? So we started off with a very simple page, a simple landing page where you can start building your application. Right? As a developer, there is a need for them to build a quotation, share it with them. That's how we started off. Any knowledge of how any knowledge on how startups are built. We didn't have any knowledge on how to sell it, to market it, and to sell it. Right? Typical engineering student did my masters. We had a team of 2, 3 people going together and then we started. So this is where the concept of MVP comes in. Right? If if I give you a problem statement, I'll take you back to like, for example, you're in 1800, and then you're asked to build a car, right? Where do you start off? What is the first thing I would want you guys to answer? I'm asking you to build a car, right? Imagine you're in 1900, I'm asking you to build a car. Where do you start off? What is the first step? What is the procedure to build a final output? What do you think should be the right approach to build a car? This is going to be an interactive session. I want answers from your side. Not a typical lecture where you come and sleep. No sleeping allowed. So if you are intending to build a car in the early 1900s, where do you start? Sorry? Explain the journey while till you build a car. With the available resources, how would you be your approach? Okay. Imagine you have the knowledge. Okay. Okay, fairly right, but I would have to differ. So when I'm thinking about that, you do not think about what is the problem you're going to build. You're trying to look at what is the problem that you're intending to solve. When you're looking at building a car, your problem is mobility. You need to reach to make a place. The reason why you started envisioning when you do that, the first step is not to build your engine, not to build your seats, not to build how it's going to look like on the outer surface or any of those stuff, right? So, so the intention is you start off with something that helps you with mobility. Look at the problem first and then do a reverse engineer. So for the rest of the 4 years that you're going to be here, you will engineer, but parallelly when you build products, you will have to reverse engineer. Apply all the concepts that you learn during your engineering process and try and build something from a reverse approach where you identify a problem, then try and project a solution, try and see if that solution works, modify it slowly, level by level, build it. Right? So I'll give you another. I'll explain what I mean. What is the right approach if you are intending to build a car in few minutes. But how many of you know other startups, other trending startups right now? What are the startups that you know? I'm sure you wouldn't have heard about it. I'm very sure about that. But what are the other trending startups that you know about, right? Anyone? Any startup that you do, that you use on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? All hostel folks are staying at home. mix. Okay. So on a daily basis, do you use Zomato? You guys use? You guys use Swiggy? No, you don't like Swiggy. Ola, Uber, right? All of these are your new age startups. All your older companies, the car manufacturing companies, oil refineries, all those were, when they started off, they were also startups. Eventually, they built up process, set up, institutions around it, and then build it as a company, as a business, right? These startups that we generally talk about, Zepto, Zomato, Swiggy, all these are your new age startups, right? All of them have a typical journey, right? When they started off, they just started off with a problem. Then an idea comes up to solve that particular problem. Over a period of time, with the feedbacks of their customers and with external money involved, they start selling it. They build a prototype. They start selling it. They get feedbacks from their users and try and add more and more and more features. Right. One such example is today. What is the typical use case of Zomato? Today, as of today, what is your typical use case of Zomato? What do you use Zomato for? Do you guys have Zomato app in your phone? What do you guys use it for? Order food. Simple use case. Order food. You are hungry. Order food. Next 20 minutes, you have food. Right? But when they started off, that was not the case. Right? Around 2010, when they actually started off, they didn't say day one, we're making an app that through which you are going to order food. Right? With limited connectivity, limited penetration of Google services and stuff, what they did is they just made a simple website using which you can see the reviews and ratings of restaurants. Platform. They just took a photograph of their menu card and uploaded it. So that that they launched it. Right? They just made a website where you can just see what is the menu of your restaurant nearby. So this solves a simple use case where you don't have to go to the website and decide what you want. But over the last 10 years, I've built features around it, around it, got funding, that sold this thing. So, in a way, right now you use it for ordering food. You can also use it for reserving a table. Right? All of these use cases have slowly come. They have a store using which they offer raw materials to kitchens. All of these services Zomato offers. But that was not how it started off. Right? But on the contrary, you take Zepto for example. Right? Zepto promised 10-minute quick commerce delivery. Right? They came probably in the mid of COVID. During the pandemic, they came into existence. They had huge funding to back up. They had idea, right? They had funding. They had resources. They built all they wanted on day one, and then they let it out. Over a period of time, they started improving the product, improving the quality, expanding their business. Right. So these are two usual ways in which you typically start a startup. Right. So considering you guys are in your first semester or in the first year, it is going to be very, very important how you are going to spend the rest of your time at the college so that by the time you graduate, the intention is not to start a company. The intention of you understanding what entrepreneurship is not to start a company. I wouldn't want each and every one of you to become a CEO and then run a company, right? But the approach should be towards it. Not because you want to, not because of the fame, not because of the money, not because of anything else, but you're intending to solve a particular problem. So the problem should drive you towards building something, not the other way around. Just because you know computers, just because you know how to code, or just because you know how to sell, does not mean you start a company, right? There should be a burning problem. You're offering value to it. It's solving a customer problem. Now again, how do you identify a customer? It's how do you validate your idea? Your idea should solve a problem of considerable amount of people, and that is when then they should be willing to pay for it, right? Same, if you consider pickle, right? If the photographers are not willing to pay for it, it absolutely doesn't make any sense for us to build such a big dashboard and all of it, so that you spend a lot of energy building it, but at the end of it, if there is no one to use it or if it's not solving any real problem, it's not going to help you in any way, right? So over the period of next 4 years, while you're here, I would want you guys to work on a lot of projects outside the college, within the college, that is going to solve, improve your skills and solve a set of problems. Right? So when we spoke about the car thing, right, our problem was not building a car, our problem was mobility. Right? This is a very popular meme that you find on any of your tech meme pages, or even if you search how to build an MVP, this is probably the first meme that you get. I just downloaded and uploaded it. I didn't even rebuild it. Right? So if you're building a car and with limited resources, limited knowledge, you don't start like that. You don't start the seats, you don't start with the engine, you don't start with all of this. Your intention is, this is going to solve mobility issues. The first thing I built is put two wheels, put a slate. Is it helping me move from point A to point B? Is it working? Does the market want this? Car gives you comfort, speed, all of those. But for mobility, that's not required. Your problem is just mobility. You start off with doing step one. Then you get feedback from the user. Someone says, I'm not able to stand on this. It's not comfortable. And you build a cycle. And you say there is a lot of manual efforts involved. I'm not able to ride the cycle efficiently. Right? Then you build a motorcycle, bring an engine. Then you build a car where you want to sit, make seats and stuff like that. Right? That is how I would want you to approach any problem or your idea. Right? So now, the reason I'm talking to you guys being in the first year is, over a period of next 4 years, when you start working on projects, right, be clear, irrespective of what your seniors have done, what the college has done, what rest of the college has done. I want you guys to pick up problems from your real world examples, build solutions for it. You have a semester full just to do projects, but I want you guys to do projects in every semester. However small, however big it is, find out a problem, find out an idea, start building from that step. Right? If you build in this way, till you reach the car, you will never be satisfied, you will never be happy. You will never feel like you are solving a problem. But take the second approach. Over a period of time, you will realize you are trying to solve the problem one step at a time. You can add any number of features as it goes. Right? So this is the list of features that we offer as of today. We started off 2 years back. This is the set of features that we offer at Pickle. For the photographers, we charge the photographers. We let the customers hire photographers to our platform. There is file transfer, there is image recognition, photo selection. All of these features are there. This was not the case on day one. Like I told you, we just had one single page where they can build an invoice. That's all. Now, I didn't know how to sell it. There were no takers. We wanted the whole photography industry to be unified. The markets are, the prices are not same. The prices are not. No, it is because it's an art-based business. Right? A little history about it is, why did I choose this particular idea? There were a couple of ideas I worked on before that also. In fact, while I was Sunil's student, I worked on another detailed idea. We were not able to pursue. Then later, when I did my masters, I worked for a couple of companies. Then we started off this. The reason for me to choose this particular idea was the expertise that I had in photography. Right? Parallelly, along with what I was studying, along with where I was working, I was also interested in photography. I was doing it as a professional thing, as a freelancer, as a professional, for at least 7 to 8 years before I started off this. During that phase is when you understand the market, you know what is there, what is not there, where there is an opportunity, where I can contribute, and what is the idea, what is the solution that I can provide, for which the user is willing to pay for. Like I told, if they don't pay, it's of no use building such a big product. Correct? So this is because I didn't know how to sell it initially. I told them I will give you leads. I'll give you business leads for the photographer. Use my software for free. I didn't charge them. I just told I have built a sample website. I have built a quotation builder. You can fill the details, download the quotation in PDF form, share it with your customer. Right? This was the minimum thing that I offered. People were not willing to make it so professional. They used to communicate on WhatsApp, on emails, randomly writing on paper and then giving it to them. That is how the communication between a photographer and the client was. And later, that caused a lot of issues. Say, for example, there is miscommunication, right? So we wanted to make it professional. Our initial idea was to aggregate photographers, but we didn't start there. We said we will give you one tool, use that, right? That was the only thing. But I didn't know how to monetize it. We built a solution, but we didn't know how to do that. So apart from choosing what tech stack and all of that, because we had experience in building software, this was a little bit easier for us. But once we built it, we didn't know how to sell it. I went to close to 800, 850 photographers individually, spoke to them, and then I said, I will give you leads. Give me commission, give me 10% commission, give me 20% commission for the leads that I give you. And in return, I mandate you that you will have to use the quotation builder that we had built. Right? Now they didn't want to use the quotation builder, but they were happy with the leads. Correct? So I gave them the leads, and because of that, since I mandated, they started using the quotation builder. Now over a period of time, they got used to it. They started liking it. They started liking the process. They started liking the UI interface. Right? So they got comfortable with building such a thing. Now there were a bunch of photographers who did not even get the leads, but they still wanted to use this. Even for the leads that they got outside, they started using mine. Right? So that was a behavioral shift that we saw. Right? The next thing that we did was we did only one thing. We copy pasted the same code. We had one single code base. We copy pasted the same code base twice, renamed quotation as an invoice. So now we have two offerings. We have an invoice builder, we have a quotation builder. Even today, if you see our product, both the interface as well as the output looks the same. The templates that we get for the PDF, the way you construct invoice and the way you construct the quotation is going to look the same because it's the same component that it's internally calling. Right? But now for the market we are offering two things. Right? So this is the next solution that we built. Now we wanted to again make money out of this. We were not able to make money. Right? Our initial goal is to make sure we sell or we aggregate photographers, make it easy for the user. Till now the user is not even there in the picture. Right? So we have a classic chicken and egg problem. Who will come first? Whether it's going to be the users or the photographers. Now if the users are not there, photographers won't come. The photographers are there, only then the users will come. Same problem. Photographers are not there, there is nothing the user will come and do. Correct? So now we have to increase the number of photographers we have in our system. Right? So now after this is when we introduce something called as your portfolio build. We identified a problem. Most of the photographers we spoke to, they all gave their website. Right? Each one had their own website. They all shared their website. So I have about 1,000 visiting cards lying in my office. All the visiting cards have a website. We tried to see what each website shows. All of it is dead. Right? Most photographers do not understand tech. Right? So we identified a problem there. We said, why should a photographer go to a tech person, spend money, build their portfolio, to build their show, their work? Why do they have to maintain their website? With a quick, simple drag and drop solution, can they build their portfolio using it? So that is the third solution that we built. We built a simple tool where you can drag and drop, upload your photographs, choose templates, and finally the final output of the portfolio will come out. Now they don't have to visit a developer, They don't have to pay money for maintaining their website. They don't have to market it like they used to earlier. And no maintenance, website maintenance fee, keeping it live and all of it, because we promise them as long as the company is there, your portfolio will be there. Build it once, for the rest of the time we will take care of the maintenance. That is when the real customers came in. That is when they started paying us. So over a period of time, we went to the customers, we asked for a lot of feedbacks. We sat with the photographers, gave them this is how it is going to look like, are you comfortable? Right? Every step we try and utilize our customers and added feature by feature. We didn't, though we had the vision to build the final output, even today we have not yet achieved the final thing that we want to build. It's a process, right? That's how your approach towards the project also has to be. So over a period of time, we identified a particular problem within the whole domain, try and solve that, produce it to the customer, say, this is the intended solution, are you liking it? If they don't like it, we quickly change, right? Our tech team is just 3 people. One of the person who's my CTO is your college alumni, right? We have another person to take care of the mobile app development, and it's just 3 people who handle the complete tech solution, right? So you don't need a fancy company, fancy team, fancy knowledge, lot of achievements, lot of money. None of this you require if you're focused on solving the particular problem, right? So all this you will have to keep in mind when you start building your career over the next 4 years, building your projects over the next 4 years, right? This is where the importance of your college project comes in, right? Like I said, do not focus on just the final year one-time project, right? Now, because you are starting up right now, your programming language does not matter. Because you guys are in your first year, the programming language does not matter. The first draft that we built, right? The first website that we built, right? It was a no-code tool, right? We had to build something so that we can go short. In fact, it happened in such a way that I was in a discussion. Right? I spoke to a particular photographer. I told him in 2 days it will be ready. Right? Nothing was ready. Nothing was even there. Within 2 days, with the no-code tool, I just built a form, built a PDF downloader, gave it to them. Right? So that is how you start off with. You don't have to assume that it takes a fancy amount of money, fancy amount of technology, fancy amount of knowledge to build a company. That's not how it works, right? Start off with a particular problem, find an idea that people are willing to pay. Make sure you have sufficient expertise around it. If you do not have build expertises around it, try and learn what is existing in the market. Why, if you say, for example, there are a lot of competitors. When we started off this company, also there were a lot of competitors, right? But still, the intention was, are people using it? If they are not using it, why are they not using it? If they are using it, why are they using it? Start questioning each and everything, right? When you are in this mindset, the intention is not to, again, like I told, the intention is not to build a company. Start questioning things, right? Start asking questions to yourself or to your faculty about why this has to work in this way. Someone is using a product, someone is taking a particular approach, ask why it should be done in that way. One of the simplest thing was, I'm used to seeing lectures and PPT presentations where there will be a lot of text on the screen, right? And I'm used to seeing such things while I grow. We asked a question. In fact, it was not my idea. A friend of mine asked a question saying, why should I have so much text on the PPT when I'm talking here, right? He said, my focus should be on the person who is talking and not on the screen, correct? So from that day, we realized, okay, let us change the way we build presentations, right? Try and put as minimum content as possible so that I don't want you to keep reading what is there on the screen while I'm talking, correct? So while you grow, while you do your engineering for the next 4 years and for the rest of your life, start asking as many questions as possible. Find solutions, find answers. If you're able to do it yourself, do it. If not, ask questions from people who you think you know. Right? Coming to the college project, try and build something or the other over a period of next 4 years for every semester. Right? Your college curriculum mandates that you will have to build it only once or twice. I think there are 2 projects that you build over a period of this thing. But during the process, right, there are so many things that you learn. When we started off, like I told, I didn't know how to even set up a company. I didn't know the documentations involved. I didn't know the finances involved. I didn't know how to calculate your profit and loss. When an investor comes and gives money, I didn't know how to split shares. Right? So it's not that you need to know everything on day one before you start. Pick up a very small idea. There are a lot of contests that keep happening. Right? While I was studying, there were multiple contests that kept on happening. National level, international level contests that keep on happening. Right? When you participate, you understand where you stand. What is where I should improve? What students of my age are doing outside? Right? You will learn all of this during that process. Find that idea, right? Give a bare minimum solution, like we discussed here. You don't have to build the final output. If they ask, build a spaceship, right? You're not expected to build a spaceship. But your approach should be, if I am going to build a spaceship, what is the problem it's solving? Now, what is the minimum cost where I can start off with, right? And the advantage of we all being in the technology field, right? You don't have to build the total final product and then start selling it. So you have visioned something big. Your requirement is you don't have to build everything all at once, fine tune it, test it, and then sell it. Right? That's not the intention. Because we are in technology, because we have updates, because all of it, you can push releases, push features as you grow. Correct? Day one, no one will have the vision about what is the final output that you're going to build, but take an approach towards that. Coming back to the college project, I think there is another slide on importance of your team, and combine both of these. Find the right set of people who has complementary skills, right? Someone is very good at coding. Someone is very good at selling, right? That is their natural ability to sell. The people have natural ability to talk. People have natural ability to sell. People have natural ability to code well. They analyze or they have a very analytical thinking process where they can approach. So when you give a problem statement, how you approach the particular problem is very important. Right? Someone does it very well. Someone is very good at coding. Right? Those things. Try and build a team around yourself. Maximum of 3 people. Should be find 2 or 3 people who have complementary skills. Right? Grow with them, but discuss ideas. I understand what happens at college, canteen discussions, outside discussion stuff. But I want you guys to change the culture, change the way you guys think, change the way you guys discuss about ideas, change the way you guys discuss about the problems. Right? Discuss among your friends. Participate in contests that comes up outside. Some of the good things, fortunately for me, that happened was I had very good set of faculty members, very good set of, in fact, Patel sir, he was my HOD while I was studying. So we had very good set of faculty and the environment. I'm sure you guys also have. So utilize the opportunity in such a way that you ask questions, you spend time with people who try and push you to the next level. Correct? So use that whole time, environment, the ecosystem to start building things. Day one, you will find there are so many projects that I would have made, so many draft copies that I would have written. Because getting an idea is very, very easy. Right? Now, I can think of 100 different ideas while we are sitting here. We will get so many ideas. But how do you implement it? How do you take it forward? Does it have a market? There's so many questions that comes up, right? It's okay to fail. I have failed multiple times. I've failed. I've burnt a lot of money. It's okay to fail. It's okay to spend money. At the end of it, the passion will drive you, right? So find the right team, start building projects. There are so many contests that keeps coming up. I'm sure you would eventually be exposed to all of these hacker rank, hacker Earth, and stuff like that, correct? So start participating in all of this. We are in the tech field. We have chosen this to be our path, right? Over a period of time, start spending time around these only, right? Another very quick thing, we did not, so we were selling the products, we used to get back revenue, but we were not able to get funding, right? There were so many instances where I would have approached the investors. First thing, I was a backbencher. I would be very, you know, it would be very difficult for me to have a conversation with people in a very dignified and a right way. I've never done that while I was growing up, which I'm sure most of you guys can relate to. But there were so many instances where we approached people for funding. We didn't have a product, we had an idea, we approached for funding, we failed. We had a product, we approached people for funding, we failed. Right? We started showing revenue, we approached people for funding, we failed. Right? Now, I don't know if it's luck, I don't know if it is destiny. Once we started integrating AI into our system, we started building solutions around AI and around crypto to enhance the experience for photographers and give them more features. There's only one feature we brought in. We said, as a photographer, the price is not standard, but we will not dictate the price for what is the service that you charge. But we will introduce an AI model to tell you what is the right amount that you should charge in order to maximize the number of orders you successfully get. So this one feature we thought of, we brought in AI, we moved from picklet.in. In fact, if you see my email ID, my email ID is picklet.in. This was our first site. We didn't have money to buy good domains. We didn't have money to buy pickle.com or something that we wanted of. We started from where it was. This was about 199 rupees or something. We bought picklet.in. That is where I hosted my first website. Right? Over a period of time, it matured. When we introduced AI, I moved the whole business to gopickle.ai. Right? Now, picklet.in does not exist. In fact, it gets routed back to gopickle.ai. But over the point is with trend, with what is going to come in the future, I want you guys to adapt to that. There is a lot of incentive for you to learn compilers, how the basics of compiler works, how C works, how COBOL works, how your assembly level languages works, which I'm sure you will be learning. But there is a lot of importance in learning all of that while you are studying. Right? Once you graduate, it is more about, I'm assuming 70 to 80% will get into application development side of the business. The rest will possibly get into entrepreneurship and stuff. But there will never be a time where you will learn about the basics of computers, the basics of assembly level coding. All of these are important when you're trying to solve a problem, right? You need to ask questions on what if I write a C program, why does the compiler understand, right? Those questions you need to ask. But at the same time, it is also relevant for your business to be thinking about the future. Next 10 years, what is the technology that is going to come? It might sound fancy. AI is there, Gen AI is there, crypto-based stuff is there. So it might sound fancy. So while you are studying, I do not recommend you to fall for the buzzwords, fall for the future tech and stuff. Build your foundation as well as possible, as good as possible, so that it shouldn't take much time for you to adapt to newer trends. But the focus should be adapting to newer trends. But to do that, your foundation has to be strong. Only when your foundation is strong, only when you understand compilers, only when you understand the operating systems, only when you understand the database management systems and the basics of all of this, is when you start appreciating and easily adapting to the newer trends. Right? Right? So only when we started marketing our thing, it's an AI tool using which you can we hire photographers or stuff like that is when we started attracting funds. Right? It might be a mere luck. Probably we didn't approach the right people earlier, or must be something. Reasoning could be anything. It must be luck. But then the intention is you need to stay ahead in your trend. Try and solve the problem in such a way that your idea will still exist even after 5 to 10 years. If it doesn't exist, you will have to pivot it, you will have to make sure the market trends are right. Okay. So, quick word on funding and marketing. I'm sure it is not important right now for the for you guys when you're starting off. It's not that tomorrow you're going to start a company, but funding is definitely important, but it's not that you can run a company without. You need to have funds to run a company in some way, right? So you don't have. Most of your successful entrepreneurs will say the same thing that I told you. You don't need funds, but over a period of time, I've realized funds are important, but your drive towards the particular solution, what you are willing to put at risk, right? That is very important. And in fact, this is probably the only meeting where I have my investor with me here. So she's my wife. She's funding my process while I'm building it, right? So we have funds for my team for building and stuff, but I don't take any salary. She pays me salary. So the intention is you don't have to think starting a company as if you need to have a lot of money to start. You don't need money, you don't need the expertise. All of it you can learn during the process, right? You find a problem, find an idea, build expertise around it if you do not have. If you have, it's a plus. If you do not have built expertise around it, start off with a very basic solution. Try and find a market. Make sure the market is sufficiently big enough for you to, invest your time and energy onto it. Right? And I have few book suggestions. You guys can take a photograph of this. Keep it for reference. Over a period of time, spend time reading books. Right? One of the things that most of the time we don't talk to people, we don't get their experience, we don't understand how things work, we don't spend time learning stuff, right? I would recommend you guys to read that. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. If you just Google it up, find out what the book is, the basics of it, you know whether it is useful or not. But these are the 5 books that are still lying in my office. I've read multiple times, but still I would want to reread it. There are so many times you face a difficulty, someone would have solved the same problem in the same situation in a different way. You read, you get inspired, you start building something around this. So, as a bottom line, right? Since the audience is in the first year, as a bottom line, I would recommend you to invest on your projects, invest on learning the fundamentals well, right? Even in the projects, find the right team who give you complementary skills, right? Use technology to the fullest possible. If you are scared to ask questions to your mentor or your faculty, go back to a Google search. There is nothing that a Google search can not help you with, right? So we hire interns, right? A lot of interns work with us, work from Vidya, BMS IT, BMSC. A lot of interns work with us. They come to our office, see how things work and proceed, right? One thing that I've observed, not just with the colleges that I mentioned, but most of the colleges, even from IIIT, the thing that I've observed with most students is, one is they want to learn only what is going to come in. Do not do that. Only when your fundamentals are fine is when you start learning what is going to come in the future. Start asking a lot of questions. Don't leave your faculty till he explains what it is. I'm glad and I'm equally happy that you guys are getting such opportunities where people come and share their experience. I'm sure my talk is not going to be the last. There is going to be a lot of people who are going to come and explain things to you, inspire you in some or the other way. Right? Utilize this opportunity. Probably we didn't get it, but I'm extremely happy that you guys are getting it. Right? So utilize all of those opportunities, keep your fundamentals right, start investing, start participating on contests outside. Even if you fail 10 times, it's okay. Submit entries. Over a period of time, you will learn what is the way to submit. In fact, the first contest that we participated, we didn't even know how to submit. We didn't even know how to access. It might sound very, very funny and very like a story, but the truth is, 2011 around, I was doing my first year. We built a solution, we built a product. We didn't know how to upload it on the website. Right? We had given the code base. We didn't give the complete set of code base. They were not able to execute. We didn't proceed further. But this happens over a period of time. You will learn how to do all of these. But your intent has to be in such a way that you eventually learn. The first line that I mentioned, entrepreneurship is not about starting company. You don't start company, it is about solving problems. And the intention to solve problem is going to help you in any form, irrespective of where you are. Even if you end up in a software company, right? There also you need your entrepreneurship skills to tell you how to come out of this particular problem, right? Day one, all I knew was how to code. I didn't know anything, no setting up a business, no hiring, no firing as well. In fact, over a period of time, we have fired people, and I was very reluctant to tell him we don't want to work with you. Right? I didn't know how to, and that's a very, very complicated situation where you have to tell your co-worker that this is going to be your last working day, right? So you learn all of this. Day one, I didn't know any of this. But your intention to be towards trying and solving the particular problem. Over the journey, you will learn a lot of things, acquire as much information as possible, as much knowledge as possible. Another thing I wanted to mention about the interns is, unfortunately, the interns who are joining us in the last few years, right? Their intention is only learning, they're learning the buzzwords, they're learning the new tech and stuff, they don't know the fundamentals. They learn stuffs at the surface level, they do not learn in depth, right? I want you guys to spend time learning everything in depth, even if as minimum as how does a for loop work, how does a while loop work, how does a if work, you know what, you should know what it returns. That is when only when you know fundamentals is when you know where to apply it, how to apply it. Right. So, any specific questions? And regarding finding ideas, you don't have to find ideas right now. You are in the first year. Build your mindset in such a way that you are intending to solve problems. It's all your mindset. Approach towards solving problems. You don't have to build the next big software. You don't have to spend all this. I will come back in another 2-3 years while you are in third year or fourth year. I will again come back. I will give you. Probably I would have matured by then. Maybe I'm immature right now. Maybe 2 years later I would have matured with what is the right way to do it, how to build a software, how to exactly do it, and stuff like that. 2 years later I will meet you guys and explain about running a startup, building a startup, how to make it successful, how to fail, how to learn from those failures. All of these I'll explain probably 2 years later. But right now, divert your mindset in such a way that you start discussing about ideas, discussing about problems, discussing about possible solutions that you can give, right? And have complementary skills. Try and participate in as much contests as possible. Right. I will possibly share a list of websites through which you can find contests. But even if that is not the case, you can simple Google search is sufficient for you to tell where the contests are happening. Right. Try and utilize your time while you are in the college. Post college, you will definitely not have any time. For sure, you will not have any time to even think what you are going to do in the future. And do not think what you want to do in the future on the day you graduate. Right? Most people think what to do in their future after they graduate. Do not do that. Do that in your first year. While you are here, plan what you want to do. This is a serious business. This involves a lot of money. This involves a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. The parents have spent a lot of money for you to be here. Right? You have spent a lot of efforts trying to be here. Right? So use this time, the next 4 years as possible, so that 4 years later you are in a better zone compared to rest. Right? Any specific questions? Anything that you would like me to address on? If I know, I'll answer. If not, I will get back with the answer.
If you have any question, you can ask. Sorry.
Two things. Either you understood everything or you didn't understand anything. Only then you will not have any. For the rest of the talks and stuff, it's not going to be as formal. It's going to be as relevant to you, as useful to you as possible. I personally do not want to have a formal lecture kind of a stuff where you just listen and go. If you have questions, or if you do not have, you can get in touch with me anytime later. Let me know if you have anything to. And again, video has mandated internships. I guess the college has also mandated internships for your 4th year and stuff. But if you are trying to do all these internships, projects, learning stuff at a very early stage, right? 4th year, you will do much better. Right? Approach your career in such a way that today you decide what you want to do. Try and solve it. Try and build stuff. 4th year, even if someone mandates you, you already have 10, 12 internship experience. Do not do anything for the sake of certificate. Do not sit here for the sake of attendance. Right? Sit only if you are really interested in what is being discussed. Sit only if you think it makes sense. Or if you have no opinion about it. If you have a very specific opinion that this talk is not going to help me in any which ways, but still I am sitting for the sake of attendance, then it's not important. Right? Not just my talk, anyone's talk in the future. Sit only if you are focused, if you want to learn things. There are so many things that you can learn from your faculty, teachers around. Right? Sit only if you truly decide you want to grasp as much knowledge as possible. Do not do any internship. Do not participate in any contest for the sake of certificate. Do it for the sake of learning. Right? Any specific questions? No questions? Okay, so if you are worrying how to find an idea, where to start off with, I have already explained. Do not run behind an idea. Do not run behind a problem right now. Start learning your fundamentals over a period of time. While you learn your fundamentals, start questioning all of this. Why is it like this? Why is it not like that? Right? When you start questioning, you will get ideas. Today, you don't have to find ideas. You don't have to search for problems also. Problems will come your way while you are learning, while you are studying from your first year, second year. Problems will come your way. Try and utilize those opportunities to start questioning everything, questioning every single thing that you learn. Till you question, you will not understand the basics. Right? Someone says a compiler converts your high level language into an assembly language, and that's how the computer understands, you will not understand what happens inside. Don't assume that compiler is a black box. Rip it apart, find out what happens line by line, code by code, signal by signal, go up to the level of zeros and ones. Only then you will know why it is. Start asking questions for every single thing. It's okay even if it takes time. That is what you are here for. You have 4 years of time to do that. Right? No questions? Still no questions. Okay, so if you guys have questions, you can reach out to me on my email ID. Right? So I'll be available. We offer internships. We don't teach you like the typical internship offering companies that are existing. We don't teach you. We don't spend time with you. We take a limited bunch of people. Our team size is still 5 people. The 3 developers, 2 additional people. Team size is still 5 people only, right? We manage the sales operation. In fact, I wanted to show a demo of how the product looks like, how it was earlier, how it looks like right now, but since due to non-availability of Wi-Fi, I'm not able to show. But you guys can log in. In fact, I have the website. You can log in. There is a mobile app on the Play Store and the App Store. You can check it, download, and see. Right. Any doubts, anything in the future? I will keep coming back. Sunil sir is there, Chody sir is there, Patil sir is there. I'll keep coming back. We hire interns. And I understand hiring intern at a very early stage is also difficult for you guys. We don't teach you stuff. We make you work. We work alongside. We inspire you to work. If you have the intention of seeing someone work and learning along, our office is always open. Right? Not just now, even the next 4 years, whenever you want to learn, and irrespective of my startup, there are a lot of companies, a lot of big businesses that I'm part of, I'm associated with. So interns and learning opportunities always open. And I'm still making it clear, do not do internship for the sake of certificate. Only if you are truly learning out of it, do it. Otherwise, tell your HOD clearly that this is for the sake of certificate, give me the minimum marks. Right? Neither you will learn, nor the college will benefit, nor the company will benefit. Right? Only if you want to do it, only if you want to learn, do it. But do it with 100% dedication, 100% effort. Right? Thank you. What is the database, all of it, what language are we using for the mobile app, all of this you will eventually learn, you will get all these words frequently in the future. No programming language is, it's going to help you directly, you will eventually learn the fundamentals. You can fix on what language you want based on your use case. For the record, we use Angular and PHP.
On behalf of SVIT, I would like to thank Bhargav for giving wonderful insights on startups and all. And also, he had supported a lot. Last year also, we initiated 2 startups. All of you might have known, I think. Still, you are in first year. If you are not came across, you can see. In the placement cell, we had 2 startups. One is one is Pitchex and another one is Nexus. 2 startups are registered. They have some Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they have registered organization. So we have given a very good inputs for that 2 startups also. With this vision, they are also working on bringing up some product. So on behalf of all management and especially I'd like to thank Bhargav Sridhar. Thank you. And also I would like to thank our principal for supporting us and our HOD Shashikumar sir and Dean sir in his absence and all faculty members of this meeting. Thank you, Neda.
Thank you. Thank you.